Hello. Welcome back. I had to check something. Do some IT troubleshooting. Good morning. At least for me, it's morning. Dress like a skeleton because it's always Halloween in my mind. How are you? All right. We're going to jump right in today. Instead of having me go through some compelling exposition. So today we're going to do stretch and strengthening, kind of paired off one after the other. I've been working a lot at the computer, more so than usual, which is saying a lot because my job is all on the computer. So it's been like triple time on the computer, and I am all messed up. I've needed to get my daily fix of Pilates just to help me get through the week. So my neck is tight, my traps are tight, I have tension headaches, my spine doesn't quite know where it needs to go, my hips are tight, we're all over the place. So we're gonna kind of snap back into form here, inspired by that. So this is stretch and strengthen. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do a strengthening exercise, Pilates strengthening exercise in our classical mat series, and then we're going to do a version of it that's stretchy. So this should be fun. I hope so, and I hope it's a nice kind of morning or evening little workout. So we're gonna do that today, because man, my neck is so tight. Everything is tight and out of whack. Well, we'll get there. So, my disclaimer beforehand. So this is open level. So if you're joining me on the mat and trying out the whole thing or some of these exercises, I will provide modifications to challenge or simplify. I'm going to do a little less of that today because we're going to flow through a little quicker. So the level's going to be pretty middle. I would say advanced beginner, intermediate, just so we can flow through a little faster and you don't have to hear me talk about the infinite level of modifications. So, but this is open for everyone. And I always say that in Pilates, and I say a level, like I said, intermediate or advanced beginner, and I want to backpedal a little bit on that because I actually don't really believe in levels to a point. The thing is with Pilates is that it's what's easy. I find that there's no such thing as easy in Pilates. There's different ways you can focus on exercises, but I just find it's just baseline kind of spicy. Or there's, I'll do less reps, or I'll, lift my leg a little higher. It doesn't necessarily make things easier. It's all about where we kind of put the focus that changes the exercise. So it changes, I think, less on level to a certain point and more on focus. So there I go with my Pilates ramblings. But anyway, we're going to flow through this today. We're going to flow through it. Questions, drop in the chat. If there's a modification you want to see, we'll do it. But we're going to flow pretty quickly. Listen to your body, meet your body where it's at. If you are experiencing pain or pushing through pain, that's something we never want to do. Finding our edge and challenging ourselves is one thing. Pain is something we never want to experience when we're doing an exercise, or pushing through pain is something we never want to do either. So if you experience pain, take a pause, meet us in the next exercise, or take a modification that you know works for your body or that I provide. So this is not about, we're not training for the Olympics. There's no Pilates Olympics. There's no upcoming audition coming for the Pilates musical, although I would love to make one of those. We're just having fun flopping around on the mat. So listen to your body, don't be hard on yourself, and let's enjoy. All right. Shout out to any Coheed and Cambria fans. That's the shirt I'm rocking. Going to go see them with Incubus in August, which is kind of wild. The last time I saw Incubus was when they played with Linkin Park, which is wild to think because that was so long ago. And yeah, I just like get very nostalgic thinking about that show. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them again in the summer. Maybe we'll get some new music soon. Fingers crossed. However, Vaxis, the new Vaxis album, I think it might be top 3 for me. It was so good. It was so good. And it's funny because I love it so much. I make an effort to not listen to it very much because I don't want it to become old. I want to keep the feeling, the fresh feeling that I have for it alive as long as possible. So I love it, but I don't listen to it. All right, which is kind of weird. Let's get started. All right, lying down, adjust your ponytail. So we're going to start pretty classically. We're going to start with some marching. Arms are long by your side. We're going to lift our legs to tabletop, and you want your knees over your hips. This is going to require your tailbone to be down and long on the mat. Bottom tips of the ribs are drawing down towards the mat. You should feel your front body start to draw down towards your back body, because if you lose this stability through your center and you start to arch your back, now I've got a ton of load in my lower back and it hurts and my legs are not being held up. So we're gonna snap that in, start to find that stability. From here, we're gonna take a little marching bicycle with the head, neck, and shoulders down. So soft feet today. Normally I'll cue a flex or a point. I don't want you to think too much about the feet today. We're gonna keep them soft and we're just gonna move through the larger muscle groups today. So hinging at the hips, tap the heel down, lift the leg into your chest, maybe draw it a little closer, extend the leg up to the ceiling, lower it down, and then bend it back in. Little weird pattern. We'll take that again. You lower down, tap, draw it in, maybe a little closer, lift the leg up, lower it down, tap, and bend it back in. 2 more times on each side. You can also take a more traditional march. This is kind of a tightness check for me. See what I'm working with. I'm taking a check of what muscles are firing on as I do this. Starting to connect more with my center. I can already tell from doing this that my hips are really tight. La la la. And then bend your knees into your chest. Rock around a little bit. Now we're gonna add our curl. So we'll mix up the choreography a little bit, because why not? We're having some fun today. Like we always do, but nonetheless. You're gonna curl your head, neck, and shoulders up with your legs in tabletop. So creasing at your breastbone, head, neck, and shoulders come up. From here, just take an inhale. And on your next exhale, lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times just to warm up that curl position. If you feel your neck instantly firing on, stack your hands one on top of the other and bring it behind the nape of your neck, and keep the weight of the head in your hands as you curl up. On your next exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. So the weight of my head is back, and that's really requiring me to scoop for my center a little more. And then lower down. This next one, we're gonna add a more traditional bicycle. So curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. You can keep the arms there or float by your hips. We're gonna lower and march and bring it in. Lift it up and down. And I'm doing it on one side, but you can alternate. I don't know why I picked one side. Trying not to move the pelvis up and down. Staying high in your curl. If you decided to do the weird version that I'm doing, switch legs. Guess the coffee didn't fire on yet. kind of fun. I'm going to explore that a little more. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock your head side to side. One final thing here, reformer on the mat kind of thing. We're going to do a little tendon stretch. So normally on the reformer, we would have our feet on a foot bar on a moving carriage. Yes, it's a medieval torture device, but that's why we love it. But we're going to do it with our legs up to the ceiling. So we're going to get a little more stretch through the backs of the legs, kind of open that up a little bit, and fire on our core. So same things with legs up to the ceiling. If they're not perfectly straight, that's fine. It doesn't matter how straight the legs go. I would say since this is stretch and strengthen, we want to aim for as straight as possible. But I don't want you to compromise your legs being perpendicular for tucking your tail. So right now, my tailbone is up off of the mat and I'm smushing my lower back into the floor. It kind of hurts and it's not a good position for our spine. So I want you to drop your tailbone long and draw that front body down. So my legs now, they're not perpendicular, but they're straight and my spine is in neutral. And that's what we're looking for here. So from here, we will work the feet a little bit. So trying to keep the legs straight and up, you're gonna flex your feet, roll through and point. And flex, roll through and point. And flex, roll through and point. One more time in this direction. And now we're gonna flex, roll through and point. That didn't make a lot of sense, but I want you to think about each movement where there's maybe more of an accent, and you want to roll through all your toes here. You want to think of these as like little roll-ups for your feet. We have a ton of bones in our feet. They articulate, a lot happening. Bend your knees, lower in. We don't give our feet enough love and attention. They do a lot for us. If our feet are not healthy and mobile, it can affect the entirety of the rest of our body. Ankles, knees, quads, hip flexors. The entire chain is affected by our foot health and function. So doing little foot roll-ups and I like to say in Pilates, we do non-freaky feet stuff. There's a lot of foot exercises in the Pilates practice that focus on foot mobility and function that are really interesting and quite helpful. You do them in weird kind of medieval torture device contraptions, but that's kind of par for the course when we do Pilates, right? All right, we're stalling for the 100. So we're gonna do the 100 with the legs up to the ceiling to try and open the backs of the legs more. I want you to get a little more pump in the arms today. Warm up the arms a little bit because we will stretch the upper body. All right, here we go. Legs are gonna come up to the ceiling like we just did. We're gonna aim for straight. So even if you're here, I want you to try and go a little straighter. We're gonna work on that today. Feel sense of opposition. Someone's got your ankles, they're pulling them up to the ceiling. Someone's got your tailbone, pulling it down towards the floor. So there's this long lengthening line of engagement. From here, you curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, float your arms by your hips, and let's pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I say inhale and exhale, please actually do that. When I teach, sometimes it gets a little too quiet in the studio. And I talk during the 100 to distract myself because even though it's kind of 100 seconds around there that we do this, it can feel like an eternity. Let's say that's 2 more. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. Bend your knees, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Let's take one hand on top of each knee. Circle your knees away from each other a couple times. And then reverse your circle. This is a great one to do. It's a very gentle stir in the hip joint. I really like this, especially after I've been sitting for a long period of time. Can lay down and just kind of rock around and open the hips in a less intense way. We have a lot of incredible hip opening exercises, but sometimes after a long, stressful day in the office, we don't want more intensity in our stretching. I feel that completely. Let's move into some roll-ups. So as we do on this channel, you have options for your roll-up. Knees can be bent. Since we're doing a little more stretchy number today, we're going to aim for straight. Hands can stay on your thighs to help you up. You can also grab onto your thighs at any point as an assist, if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, we're going to actually change up our arms. So arms are normally up to the ceiling for this. I want you to draw them back as far as possible. So right now, legs are zipped together. I want you to flex the feet now. Now we're going to get a little more action in the feet. And reach the heels long away from you. I want you to feel your legs get so long that they'll pop out of your torso. And then from here, I want you to grab your hands, interlace your fingers, and the only time I'll let you shrug the shoulders in class, you're going to punch your knuckles in the opposite direction. So feel that long pull of opposition. Nice big yawning-esque stretch. Breathe into your stretches. It helps. And now keep your arms back here, release the clasp of the hands, and now check in with the rib cage. I'm gonna draw my abs down a little more because I was popping up a little bit. So we wanna keep that neutral position here. Nice wide collarbones. This is our start and end position. So kind of the reverse face plant. On your next exhale, arms are gonna come up to stay at the sides of your face, or perpendicular to the ground. You come through your curl and roll up to seated. Reach past your toes, dive forward, and then take yourself all the way back with control. Take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll up. Lift up and over, and take it back. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll add a little stretchy moment. And roll down. This last time here, we're going to hang out at the top. And dive forward into your forward fold. Now, I want you to think abs up, heavy head. So separating the ribs and the hips more by drawing your waist backwards. This is how we access that true C curve and that deep scoop of the body. You can see I'm really tight. Normally I can get my forehead to my knees, so that's a little wild. So just hanging out here. Just want you to keep the head heavy. You'll feel a lot of stretch on the sides of your spine. And big breaths in and out to open the back. If you need to take a bend to the knees, that's totally valid here. Legs are still zipped together. Now from here, stack your spine up to tall. We're going to lower our right ear to our right shoulder, keeping the waist nice and lifted, and then come back through center, left ear to left shoulder, and then switch, stretching out that neck a little bit, and switch. 2 more times. Last time. This time, right ear to right shoulder. Turn your gaze to look down at your armpit. Hang out here. Come back to your little side bend and come all the way back up. Switch to the other side. Draw your gaze down towards your armpit. Just stretches a little different part of the neck. Find your side bend and come all the way up. 1 big head circle in each direction. Being mindful that the shoulders don't hike up towards the ears. especially as the head travels behind you. And then from here, reach your arms forward, lift up and over an imaginary wheel, dive forward. Can you reach past your toes here? Big inhale. Big exhale, roll all the way back down to the mat. Single leg circle. So bend your right knee into your chest. We'll give it a little pull. If you want to do a little circle here of the hip, that can feel good. Single leg circles are so underrated. I think it feels like, they kind of feel like a throwaway exercise, I think, but man, you want to talk about a lot going on. Single leg circle. She means business. So we're gonna bring our hands behind our thighs. If you interlace your hands, totally fine. I have mine interlaced, so we're not gonna get too picky right now. I want you to draw your thigh towards your chest and try to keep it there as you lengthen the lower half of your leg to the ceiling. And then bend it back in. And lengthen it. And bend it in. One more time. Bend it back in. Give it a pull towards your chest. Now keep it there, release your hands. We're gonna try the same movement without the assist of our hands. So really find that core, draw your navel down and up to engage the leg closer to the chest. Maintain that as you lengthen the leg up and bend it in. We have 2 more. Last time, keep it up there. 3 circles in each direction. Hips don't lift. Around and up. Inhale, across. Around, exhale, lift up. Last time. If your hips are doing the mambo, take a smaller circle. 2 more times. Last time. From here, bend the knee into your chest. Hand on knee. Take it across your body. Supine twist. Now, supine twists are less about getting the knee down.
Oh, that sounds fun.
They're having fun in there. Supine twists are less about getting the knee down to the floor and more about just finding a really deep twist at the waist. So think less about the leg and more about keeping that opposite shoulder down. And then once you find that, wherever that is, take 2 big breaths. Breathe into your twist. Taking really nice breaths in your twist is going to help lengthen and get a little extra stretch and depth out of the work here. And then come back through center. Switch legs. Hug that knee into your chest. I am feeling my glutes and external rotators really hard today. I did a Pilates class 2 days ago where we did all hip opening stuff, and I have pretty weak hips, so it was spicy, and I am definitely feeling it. So that stretch was really nice. So grabbing behind the thigh. You're going to lengthen the leg to the ceiling and bend it back in, keeping the thigh close to your chest. Lengthen and bend it in. This is my less flexible side. One more time. Yeah, my knee doesn't want to go straight. It's got an attitude. Now we try that, trying to keep the thigh close to the chest from the abs. Lengthen the leg up and bend it in. Taking the tension out of the front of the throat. Your neck can't help you here. Keep the leg up to the ceiling 3 times across the round and up. Doesn't matter how big the circles are. It's more about the movement of the leg. So I want you to think about just moving in that hip and not moving the whole unit of the hips. One more time. And then bend your knee into your chest. You get your supine twist. Across. we will get to some middle back stretching. So stay tuned. Same thing on this side. Felt my shoulder lifting up a little bit, so I pulled back a little bit. Another big breath into the side. And then come back through center. We're gonna reach our legs long. I'm gonna have you open them inner hip width distance apart. And we're gonna reach the arms behind us, long yawning stretch. On your next exhale, roll up to seated. We're gonna do a quick little stretch for the entire back. So I like to take a bend of the knees and kind of reach forward. Grab my toes, or the outsides of my feet, or the insides. And then I kind of pull back on my legs. So I separate my shoulder blades, and I get a big stretch in between my shoulder blades and down my spine. So keeping your head heavy, kind of lean back a little bit. You don't have to really pull hard. Just let gravity take you a little backwards. And then let's try straightening one leg. Maybe dropping a little more forward or backwards. I'm kind of leaning to one side to get a little more stretch. And then switching sides. Keep your legs where they are. Interlace your hands behind your head. Let the elbows fall where they will. And just let gravity take the weight of your head and hands. We don't want to force this. This should be enough. Stack all the way up to tall. Find a little opposition here. Lift the chest. Bring the hands behind you. Roll the shoulders open. I'll let you shrug the shoulders towards your ears a little bit. Get a little heart opening here. All right, and let's roll all the way back down. All right, it's time for the ab series. So, as promised, we will do a strengthening exercise, and then we will do a stretch inspired by that exercise. So, no fear. We're gonna start with our single leg stretch. Oof, that was a big stretch in my entire back. Oh, I really needed that, I'm so tight. Single leg stretch. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Grab onto your right leg, stretch your left leg long. The higher the leg, the less challenging. It's gonna be a little less load on the core. I'm gonna alternate. We're gonna switch and switch. Now, while this looks simple, it's not as simple. Because think about single leg circle that we just did. Hips shouldn't be moving. That same thing applies here. So if we're doing a little dance where we're hiking one hip up or maybe shifting our whole body weight to one side, we want to stay nice and centered. And we want to think thigh to chest. How much of a scoop can we get from our center to move our legs closer to us? Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower on down. Take your left leg, extend it long. Now we were just here for single leg circle, but here's your single leg stretch. You're gonna pull the knee into your chest, and now we're gonna do this. You're gonna open it out to the side. Get a little inner thigh stretch here. Same thing, make sure the hips stay down and square to the ceiling. We don't wanna kind of lift up on, that's an extreme version, but we don't wanna take the whole hip complex with us. Bring it back through center for a moment. Now we're gonna take it out. It's gonna look like a 3D movie here. Now you can bring your hand underneath your thigh, or you can keep it down on the floor, whatever works for you. Now we're going to extend the leg and bend it back in. Extend it as far as you'd like and bend it back in. One more time, we're going to hang out back there and just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knee in, grab the arch of the foot, half happy baby. You can even extend here if that feels good. I used to not feel anything in this stretch. Now it's everything everywhere all at once. Bend it back in, we'll switch sides. Left leg comes in. We're gonna take it out to the side. So you'll see I've got the right pants on for this today. Hip doesn't move, so as this opens, I'm not gonna take the hip with it. It stays down. Wrap the hand under the thigh or keep the leg long. You're going to extend it to the side and bend it in. Extend and bend. Let me point the toe just to be a little fancier. Oh, we did an extra one on this side. Whoops, Pilates math. Give it a little stretch. Bring it back in, grab the inside of the foot, half happy baby. And even here on this right leg, squeeze that glute a little bit. It's gonna bring your hip more into extension. You'll flatten that crease out of the hip, and that's gonna give you a little bang, extra bang for your buck in your stretch. Relax your shoulders. And then bend your knee in, come back through center, hug your knees into your chest. All right, that was a very robust single leg stretch. Now let's do our double leg stretch and our double leg stretch. So, double leg stretch, knees stay into the chest. Take an inhale, exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. From here, arms and legs stretch away from each other and bend them back in. You're gonna do a few of these. So technically, classically, the arms reach behind you, circle around to grab your ankles. Some of us don't have the space to do that. So options, you can take a smaller circle or just bring your arms back in. It doesn't necessarily change the exercise. You get a little more shoulder mobility work in this, but entirely up to you. You can also say, thanks, Sarah. I'll take a note of that and try the other variations later. Let's do 2 more. Last time. And lower down. I talk during that to distract you. All right, so from here, we are going to stretch the legs long on the mat. We'll keep them heels together, toes apart. We're gonna bring our arms up to the ceiling. Now we're gonna add in our little shoulder mobility here. I want you to take a couple of arm circles, and I want you to keep them in your periphery. So that means if they go out of your vision, they have gone too far. I just want you to take stock of where there might be tension in the shoulders. Do you find that the top of the shoulder is really tight? Your neck is really firing on? I want you to move that focus away from the top of the shoulder and more into your back. So as you move, feel your scapula kind of slide along your back and how that helps initiate the movement. Keep the focus there. So as the arm comes back, the scapula slides forward and back, and forward and back. And then take the reverse. For some of us, this might feel more like an exercise. For some of us, we might get a major stretch in our chest or in the side body. Now from here, bring your arms up to the ceiling, punch the knuckles, something similar to what we did. I want you to lower the arms behind you and then lift them up. And lower and lift. lengthen to lower, lengthen to lift. Last time, and lift. Bring your arms down by your side, hug your knees into your chest. Scissor time. All right, head, neck, and shoulders come up. Grab onto your right leg, scissor your left leg long. Now, if you're shrugging your shoulders and reaching towards your leg to grab your arm, walk your hands down. We want that proper Pilates curl position. We're gonna pulse, pulse, and scissor switch. Pull, pull, and switch. Getting 2 distinct pulses with the leg. And trying not to move that leg that's further away from us. It's kind of like a spy moving through lasers. That type of precision. Now move your hands. Try and get 2 pulses. That same level of precision. And pulse, pulse. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last time. Grab onto your right leg, lower your left leg down. We're back to that stretch. Straight leg. Relax your shoulders, just pull the leg in towards you straight. I like to have the feeling too of kind of pulling down on the leg a little bit. Not like, ugh, but just a little gentle downward kind of pull. Now from here, grab the outside of your foot, right foot, so we're on the right side. Right foot, left hand. Take it across the body a little bit. Oh, and back through center, just a little. We're not gonna hang out very long. And center. For 3, and 2. Last time. Bend your knee in, take it long, we switch sides. So left leg, just pull it in towards you. Holy moly. Don't forget to breathe. That was just as an important reminder to me. Yeah, my hip here really wants to hike up, so I'm gonna say no, you have to stay down and square. Now I'm gonna grab the outside of the leg. We're just gonna take it across a little bit. Oh, so tight. Cross a little and bring it back. For 3, 2. Last time. Bend your knee in, bend both knees into your chest. It's time for lower lift. So hands are gonna stack, one on top of the other. Bring them behind the nape of your neck. Same thing as those arm circles before, your elbows can stay in your periphery into your side view. Legs are gonna either come to tabletop or we're aiming for straight. Straightish. So really find a bit of a stretch here. On your next exhale, you'll curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, keeping the weight of the head in the hands, so you really have to scoop from the center to curl up. Legs are gonna find their working level, and then you'll lower them to your second working level, 45 or lower or higher. Lengthen to lower. Stay just as high in your curl as the legs come up. And lower. And lift. Trying not to change the spine. It's the hardest part about lower lift. As we bring the legs in, we may feel like we want to draw the lower back towards the mat, kind of tuck. We don't want to do that. 2 more times. Last time. Bend your knees in. Holy moly. Keep your hands behind your head. Kind of opens the chest a little bit. We're going to open the legs, keeping the soles of the feet together. A little bit of a frog position here. You can walk the feet out a little longer from you or draw them closer together, whatever feels good. And then this is gonna look a little silly, but it's kind of fun to do. You're gonna fold your elbows in towards your face and take the legs with you. And then open them up. And bring them in. And open up. Last time. And then just hang out here Pull the back of your neck long, keep it long and soft. We're moving into crisscross. Very exciting. I really like crisscross. I think it feels good. It's that like challenge that I kind of crave. It like resonates with me in that way. Like it feels like I'm getting stronger when I'm doing it. It's very satisfying. But it's also really hard. And there's always ways to. Does one actually master crisscross? Does one actually master any of these exercises? No, because Pilates is progress, not perfection. But I love crisscross because there's just so many ways to explore it. And it's just a really great exercise. So I hope you're just as excited as me for crisscross. We're going to curl our head, neck, and shoulders up. Hands stay behind the head. Twist your right armpit towards your left knee. Your hips stay down. You extend that opposite leg long. As you transition, you stay high in your twist. You twist and reach up towards that opposite leg. And twist. My knees are popping. Twist and twist. So armpit to knee. So it's a little deeper and more lifted. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, dramatic. The suspense for 3, 2, and 1. You're done. Bring your arms out to a T or to a cactus. Feet come down. You're going to separate them the width of your mat. Tailbone stays down. You're going to windshield wiper your legs to the right, trying to keep that left side down so you get a little twist, and then come through center and switch. So it's a bit of a gentler twist. I find I get a lot more, my quadricep gets stretched here. I have really tight quads. This time we're going to hang out on the right. Option here to take that right foot and bring it on top of the left leg to get a little extra stretch. Take a big inhale. Big exhale. Gently remove the foot. Take it to the other side. If you'd like, you can add that extra. I squeeze the glute a little bit here too. Remove. Come back through center. You get to kind of rock yourself up to seated, however you feel like it. Wow. We're going to do that same windshield wiper seated. So, feet are going to be the width of your mat. We'll prop up onto our arms here. You're going to take the legs over to the right and come back through center switch. And switch. And switch. Let's do it 4 more times. Fun hip mobility drill is to remove the hands and see if you can continue to do it. Come back through center. Lengthen your legs, keeping them just as wide as the mat. Shake them on out. I'm going to take a sip of caffeine. Looks like it's going to rain here. I kind of love gray, rainy days. We've had a lot of them over here since the new year. So much so that when it's sunny, I'm a little taken aback by sunny weather. I'm like, oh, I guess we haven't had a lot of sun over the past few months. I wonder how that's affected my mood. I've been so busy, it's been difficult to have time to check in. But that's why it's nice to have a routine. Like streaming at 10 a.m. every Sunday and hanging out with you all and moving and trying some new things. Or taking a little moment for yourself to do something or to do nothing. If I've learned anything over the past 2 years from doing way too much, being in school full-time, working full-time, and a couple of other side hustles, it's been the importance of taking time to just do absolutely nothing, which is something that was very new to me. I always like to be busy and doing things, but doing nothing is underrated, and your mind and body really need it. So I've gotten a lot better at it over the past 6 months, I would say. I think it's finally starting to, I'm finally starting to incorporate into my list of things that like I need to do to help me just be a holistic person, which is good, because I probably should have done that years ago. Let's do our spine stretch forward. This is going to help a little bit more with the middle back. We had a little nice articulation, and we'll get to do more stretching. All right, so we're sitting nice and tall up on our sits bones, long and tall up against the imaginary wall. Arms are going to come out long in front of you. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, drop your head. Lift the bottom ribs from your hips. Slide and dive. And now when you're hanging out here, we don't want to sink. I want you to think lifting up and away from the floor. Finding that deep scoop through the front body actually lowers your head closer to the floor. From here, stack your spine all the way up to tall, bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. Now from here, circle the arms behind you. Fingertips tap behind you. Roll the shoulders open, take a little baby extension. We do the same thing. Lift the waist to lift the arms. Slide and dive. Drop the head. Just let the weight of the head flow through with you. Circle the arms up and around. Roll the shoulders open, chest through the shoulders. So it's more of an upper back extension. Come back through center. Slide and dive. We have one more after this. And there goes my hair. Lift it up. Lead with the chest, not with the head. This is your last time. Lifting up and around. Roll the shoulders open. Return to your start position, lower down and shake it out. So now we'll add our twist, our little soa. I'm going to do a soa spine twist combination. Tongue twister. Because why not? So we're going to add a little stretch here too. So feet width of your mat. Hands are going to stack behind our head to start. So that long spine. This will also give your chest a little openness here. Just the rib cage is going to twist to the right. So the hips stay where they are. Now from here, that left arm is going to come forward. Reach for the outside of the toe. Outside of the foot. Take a little twist here. Now I want you to think twisting, stack the ribs one on top of the other. From here, come back up in your twist and center. Twist. Reach for the outside of the foot. Maybe you grab it, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. It's all about wringing out that waist like a towel. Come up in your twist and center. Twist. Reach. Come up and center. One more time like this. Come up and center. Now from here, arms are going to come out to a T. If they can't come to a T, you can bring them to a cactus as your start position. We're going to do a little windmill with the arms. You're going to twist, dive, reach past the toe. Come up, open the chest. Keep that chest opener and center. Twist, reach past the toe. Come up, open the chest and center. One more time. Wow, this side's so much twistier than the other. It's a wild twist. Gotta grease the wheels a little bit on this side. Come up and center, shake it out. All right, let's do some swan. We'll do some strengthening swan and some stretchy swan as per what we're doing today. So, all right. Swan is great. We all need more swan. I'm working on doing a lot more back bending with my clients, and not like Cirque du Soleil back bending, just heart opening, taking the forward fold and reversing it with the assistance of props and apparatus. But we are so flexion focused in life, and I can feel the effects of working on my grad school paper really getting to me. And it's crazy how just a few weeks, and I'm very mindful of my posture, just a few weeks of just working on the computer just a little longer just can really throw you out of whack. So something we have to constantly be mindful of and moving through, opening the chest and doing extension, which sounds very annoying, but there's a lot of little ways to incorporate it during your day, and modifications to make to your desk, and there's all kinds of stuff. But it's very important. Extension is underrated. It can also be very hard if you're not used to it, and a little scary and disorienting when you're back bending and now you are in a completely different orientation that you're not used to, and the blood's kind of sort of going to your head, and you don't know where your feet are. It can be kind of scary and disorienting. So there's a lot going on in these more dramatic, heart-opening exercises, but they're really important, and there's a lot of fun ways to do them. And swan on the mat, while maybe not the most dramatic looking, is a great way to do that. And there's a lot of ways to increase or decrease the drama. Shifted my camera, and now of course it threw everything out of whack. There we go. All right, we're gonna lie down. So we're gonna start with our more traditional swan, and then, yeah, we're almost there. So we're going to start with stacking the hands one on top of the other. Bring your forehead to your hands. Feet are going to be long. Start with your legs the width of the mat. Maybe they stay there. The more narrow they get, the more challenging, I'd say, because you have to find a lot more balance and engagement through the center to not put load in your lower back. So if you're not sure where to start, wide is good. And then you can start to find your edge as you slowly narrow the legs in. We'll do a couple reps of these. So from here, you're going to lift your abs away from the floor, draw your pelvis down towards the mat. Lift your head, hands, and heart up to a hover. And I want you to think reach long to come up. And then lower down. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up. Reach the sternum long, reach your toes long, and bring it back down. Let's do 3 more. You're going to lift up and lower down. 2 more times. And lower. Last time. How high did I get? And lower down. I want crazy extension, but I'm not a ballet dancer, so I'm only going to get so high in my extension. Let's bring our hands under our armpits. Same thing, you can keep a wide stance here if you'd like. Now I'm going to have you keep the hands where they are. Lift up into that swan position that we just found. Now, you don't have weight in your hands yet. Keep your elbows close to your ribs. If I lift my hands, I don't move. I have no deal with the ground. Now I do. Now you can press into your arms a little bit, come up and take a stretch. What I don't want you to do is dump into the lower back. We want to keep a long diagonal spine here. Draw your abs back. You'll get a big stretch through the front of the body. Relax your shoulders. And then lower all the way down. We're going to do this 3 more times. You're going to lift up without the assist of your hands. Now you can press into your hands lightly to come up a little higher. Draw your abs back. Hips lift, hips stay down, abs lift up. And then lower back down. And exhale, lift up. And then we take our swan to the sky. And lower down. Last time we lift up. And then we fly. And then we lower down. From here, hands are going to come behind you. Going to go for a little double leg kick because it's kind of part stretch and part exercise at the same time. So I'm going to have you interlace your fingers for this, which is something that is not classical, but that's what we're going to do. You're going to bring your right face cheek to the mat and zip your legs together. We're going to draw our heels towards our booty 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Press the feet down. Interlace your hands. Get the palms together. Lift up into your swan and find a chest opener. Maybe the arms lift a little higher. And then lower down. Hands come back. Kick 3, 2, 1. Little chest opener. And lower down. We kick 3, 2, 1. Press and lift up. And lower down. Kick 3, 2, 1, and lift up. Lower all the way down. Press yourself back into a child's pose. Plop. You can take a wide child's pose. You can take a narrow leg child's pose. You can add a tricep stretch in here by bending the elbows and bringing the hands behind the head. Let the chest fall through. There's a lot of options here. So just take what feels good. Coming out of your child's pose, lie down on your right side. We're going to lie on our bicep like a pillow. And we're going to do a quick little leg series as we start to close out here. This is going to be one of our stretchy numbers. That was nice. I stayed in that child's pose just a little too long. Now I want to go back to sleep. You're going to bring your whole body to the back of the mat. Perfect straight line. Stack your hips and then bring your feet to the front corner so that you look like a little check mark. Hand comes into the front for light support. You're going to take that top leg long. Stretchy bicycle. You're going to kick that leg close to your face. Bend the knee in. Grab onto your ankle. Take a little quad stretch. Squeeze the glute. Find a little extension here. Now stretch the leg behind you. Take that top arm forward. Find a long stretch here. And then swing everything back around. Grab the leg. Find a little stretch. Separate the ribs from the hips. Extend. Reach away. Find nice and long line. And one more time. Reach long behind you. And lower the leg back down. From here, we're going to bend our knees, press ourselves up to seated. You can keep the feet tucked underneath you, or take a triangle stance for our mermaid stretch. Stretch and strengthen. This is like the perfect example of stretch and strengthen. It's like a stretch and a side plank all in one. So my right arm's up to the ceiling, my left hand is gently holding onto my ankles. You're gonna tip up and over to the left, really drawing that space nice and long on this side. And then from here, bring your arms out to a T, lower on down, lift up and over, counter stretch. And try and straighten this top arm and keep the bicep close to your ears. Get a little extra stretch. We take that again, come up and over. Breathe into your side bends, they deepen them. And with grace and beauty, you dramatically topple over into your counter stretch. Last time we come up and over. Now we'll add a little twist here. You're going to take that top arm, drop it towards your shins, drop your head. Try not to round through the shoulders. Lift the waist away. Then find your side bend, back to your counter stretch, and then we'll swing around to the other side. That was a pretty smooth transition. I'm pretty proud of myself. Sometimes my transitions are a little flippy floppy, but you gotta keep it fun. I enjoy flopping around on the mat. If you haven't figured that out about me just yet. All right, hips are stacked. We go for our stretchy bicycle. Swing the leg forward, bend the knee in, take a quad stretch. Now stretch the leg long behind you. Reach that top arm away, keeping the hips stacked, and then we come back around. Squeeze that glute of the bent leg a little bit. Lengthen the bottom tips of the ribs from the hips. Swing it back around one more time. Lengthen long and swing around back to your start position. We're going to bend the knees in, come up. We take our mermaid on the other side. You can triangle the legs or keep them tucked under you. This time left arm comes up to the ceiling. We're going to lift up and over to the right. Try to keep that bicep towards your ears. Think of being sandwiched between two panes of glass. Arms come out, you gracefully fall over into your stretchy counter stretch. Come up and over into your side bend. And then we take it over. This is the side where I have a hard time sitting on my hip. But I think I just cracked the code on what I have to work on to make this side better. Now from here, twist towards your leg. This is my less twisty side, so I get a lot more stretch doing this. Big breaths in. Come back to your side bend. Quick counter stretch. And then from here, we're going to come to a quadruped position. It's time to close out. So we're going to do a little bit of a yoga-inspired front support, sun salutation, Pilates, burpee, yerpy type of thing. I've heard a lot of different descriptions of this. We're going to do a version of it. There will be a plank, to a down dog, maybe to a push-up, to an extension. All the pieces are in there. They might just be a little different, or maybe they won't. We're going to wing it a little bit today. We're going to do 4, and we're going to keep them nice and flowy. So, coming to your plank position. From here, we're going to start, roll the shoulders open, drop the chest, find your upward facing dog. or your kind of swan extension. You can bring the knees down if you'd like. Gaze to one side, gaze to the other side. Then from there we find our plank. Flow through into your downward facing dog. So long diagonal spine, find the stretch. Now from here, lift your heels, roll through, wave through into your plank, and then drop down into your upward facing dog. Take a moment here to find a stretch. You can keep the knees up or down, and then we roll back through into our down dog. We have 2 more like that. Heels lift, wave it on through to plank. Really want that up dog. There we go. And then find our down dog. Last time here, keeping it ooey gooey. Roll on through. I just completely ignored the plank. That's hilarious. Hold your plank for a moment, or just join me in forgetting about doing planks. I'll just hold this one for an extra second here. Make up for lost time. Now we'll find our down dog. Walk your hands towards your feet, or your feet towards your hands. Take a forward fold, drop the head. Big inhale at the bottom, big exhale. Slowly roll up to tall. Head's the last thing to come up. And we are all finished. Woohoo! Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I am finishing up a lot of things this month. So the goal is to be back on schedule. I know I took a week or so off, and I owe you a Cos Pilates, so that will all be coming soon. I would like to do a Cos Pilates at the end of the month. It may be a demo, it may be a new character. I'm still trying to figure it out, see what I can put together in time. But Cos Pilates, if you're new and you're like, what is she talking about? Cos Pilates is cosplay plus Pilates, and it's where I dress up like a character from anime, video games, any other franchise, and then I franchise or series or book or all kinds of stuff. We do all kinds of stuff here. And I dress up and we do a fitness class, Pilates-inspired fitness class, inspired by that character. And we also do trivia and choose your own adventure style polls where you can vote on the types of exercises we do. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing it with you all. So if you have any requests for cosplay Pilates, Cos Pilates, for characters or anything like that, I'm always open to ideas. The wilder the better. I like a challenge. And yeah, I plan to do one at the end of the month. Just have to figure out the logistics of it and make sure I can prepare everything so that it's perfect and ready to go. So yeah, be on the lookout for that for the end of May. Other than that, we should be here every Sunday, 10 a.m. EST, hanging out, drinking coffee, doing Pilates, geeking out about all the things. If you're interested in keeping up with me and my Pilates shenanigans, you can follow me at MoveWSarah with an H on Instagram, TikTok, and I'm also on YouTube. So, yeah. Is there any other social media platform that I should be on? I can't keep up anymore. I just got on TikTok, and I think I'm doing okay on there. I think I'm figuring it out, but there's probably something new now that I don't know. If there is, let me know. But I'm primarily on Instagram and TikTok, more so on Instagram. But yeah, if you want to keep up on Cos Pilates, vote on things, all that action happens there. So yeah, thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great rest of your day, and keep moving, keep it fun, keep it creative, and I'll see you next week. Bye.